So I'll be talking on the career in chemistry because I did chemistry as a subject in all my life. So मैं schooling मेरी हुई सी दिल्ली तो उसके बाद मैं graduation ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ chemistry ਵਿੱਚ, post graduation chemistry ਵਿੱਚ, organic chemistry ਵਿੱਚ, PhD ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਦਿੱਲੀ university ਤੋਂ organic chemistry ਵਿੱਚ. उसके बाद then I went to UK for my postdoc after PhD for 3 years. And after returning from UK, I worked in Ranbaxy Pharmaceuticals, and then in Jubilant Pharmaceuticals, and now in Aragen Pharmaceuticals. So 23 years in the industry. So anything, any question, any doubt on chemistry, I'll first come back to you. You can ask me. I'll answer all your queries about chemistry. Any question. We are not going to chemistry as a subject, but as a career. If you have any doubt, we can discuss, or otherwise I'll start. Anyone can ask any question. Okay. If not, then I'll start, and in between you can interrupt me always. If anything is not clear, because this is a time when you should know any subject, whatever we choose in 9th class or 11th class, that is going to make your career shaped up. And any subject for that matter, be it chemistry, physics, maths, biology, or zoology, or botany, or biochemistry, all subjects have a brilliant career because you see the world is growing and the new technologies are coming up. So there's a demand of every subject expert, no matter what it is. Only requirement is you should be expert in that. You should love that subject. You should deep dive in that subject. And whatever you can do in 9th class or 10th class, or subsequently 11th, 12th graduation, you should deep dive. Learn as much as from your seniors, your teachers, your guidebooks. You are nowadays a lot of coaching available on the internet. So search as much as possible so that you become expert. Once you become the expert, you become unique. When you become unique, you are in demand. When you are in demand, they will pay you. You ask, they will pay. So that's a growth path. Nothing comes in the first year. But if the goal is the same, we have to go and become the expert in that particular subject, people will look after you. So that's the mantra for any subject, not only for chemistry, for any subject. Now coming back to chemistry, if you see, chemistry is around everything. Whatever you see, now also, if you see around, there's a chemistry. Like the clothes what we wear has a chemistry. The cellulose is a chemistry. The colors which is using, stability of the color is a chemistry. Wall painting I'm seeing behind you is of the colors, has a pigments, is chemistry. The paint on the ceiling is a chemistry. The wires in the fan, copper wire, is a chemistry. So whatever you touch, you see is coming from the chemistry things. And there's a requirement of the chemist everywhere. Where the material has been developed, then there may be less demand, but where the new material has to be developed, there's a more demand of the chemistry. And major thing when we talk of chemistry, we always see medicines. Medicines is nothing but chemicals. So the career majorly after chemistry goes towards pharmaceuticals. Give me a second, I'll do that. Yeah, sorry for that. So medicines, if we see talk of medicines, what we have, we generally in normal.
Sir, how to remember organic chemistry?
How to? Very good question. I'll tell you my experience. When I was in 9th class, chemistry was one of the tough subject, was part of the science, but I never liked chemistry and it was very difficult to remember. And 10th class was also same. 11th class, I got a teacher nearby. He was famous for chemistry, so I joined him as a tutor, as a teacher, as a student. And then what difference he made, what difference he made, which changed the concept of chemistry for me. Every day, we used to go at 7 to 8 o'clock for class, and 7 to 7:15 for 15 minutes, he will put up a test paper. 5 question, maybe 3 question, 7 question, if it is smaller questions, but he will do every day. Every day we have to give the answer in writing. That 6 months of rigorous question paper every day made to switch to learn it better way. So point is, more you learn, more you read, talk, or write. I would say more write. It will be good. And as I told, to become expert, some hardship has to be done, no matter which subject. Even if you take computer, it has to be hardship will be there in first 2 years. And if you learn the chemistry, read and write, you will soon see in 6 months you will switch over from one side to other side. Totally 180-degree switch you will see. I was not liking chemistry at all in 9th, 10th, and 11th, 6 months after, I started liking it. So much so, I chose as there's a major subject in BSc. And then MSc, I started to plan to do the post-graduation also in chemistry. So that's 6 months of rigorous, but you have to dive in. Pura, like you have to learn not everything you can learn one by in one moment, one by one. Cover one subject, one reaction name, one type of reaction at a time. And write again. Don't if you learn it today and tomorrow you will remember it, may not. You have to again write that. That's what he was doing with me. So I gave all my credit to that teacher who moved from a no zone to yes zone. I can do zone. So that 6 months was really, and it went for a year, but 6 months I got a switch. So if you are interested in any other subject, do the same thing. Now, terminologies, I understand because we all went through that phase. So terminologies will confuse you. Terminology will deter you. Terminologies will stop you. Okay, I cannot remember. Oh, this is difficult. How do I remember single, double bond, double covalent bond, coordination bond? So many bonding are there. So many atoms are there. So many valencies there. So many oxygen states there. So many atoms are there in periodic table. How do I remember? These questions are natural. These were always there with me, with anyone in my whosoever did chemistry there at that time. So this is natural. You may need to know what is required at the moment, guided by your teachers. Follow your teachers very religiously, because that is, your teachers are the key. You have to follow your teachers very religiously. Follow each subject one at a time, one topic at a time, maybe one reaction at a time. But learn because a lot of things to cover in, especially in 11th and 12th class. So learn at least 5-6 topics in a day, maybe 5-6 reaction or type of the any chapter you pick up 5-6 points, and next day make sure you write them back. Somebody has to make some test for you so that randomly they can pick up some question for you, and you can get the answer for that, and get in that way you get the revision. So I hope the things what is clear what you asked about. Any other question? Any question from anyone?
I would advise all the academies and their respective teachers to please pose questions to Naresh sir, because this is a wonderful opportunity.
Ma'am, what are the courses we can prefer after 12th in chemistry subject?
Good question. Can I request Dr. Naresh to please
Yes.
answer the question?
So after 12th class, you can look for the chemistry subjects as a pure chemistry subjects, or you can divert to the other fused subject now which are coming up like biochemistry or other you can move into. But we'll just try to stay in the chemistry field because my expertise in chemistry. So when you choose a BSc chemistry, for example, you will get to know more of the chemistry, what you have already read in 12th. You'll go and see more deeper understanding of the chemistry. Basically, organic chemistry has a better future than other subjects, than physical chemistry or inorganic chemistry, because organic chemistry is more more wise around all chemistry fields, more spread across, and it's used in medicines as well. So any medicine which you use every day, your parents or you anytime use it, so it contains chemical compounds which has to be made by a chemist. A chemist once knows the organic chemistry, then only he can make it. Like any reactions what you read now, for example, I will give example, if you are reading some reactions about the double bond or triple bond reduction, those actually reduction you have to do it. You have to take a compound to, which contains a double bond, and if you want to reduce it to a single bond, you have to actually do it in the reaction. And then how to know that double bond has become a single bond? Then there are techniques, analytical techniques are there where you can use the techniques to understand whether the double bond has reduced to single bond or not. And when you do this kind of hundreds of reaction, and then you design it, when you design a drug, you have to do multiple reactions to make the drug, and then only the drug will be out, purified, and then will be sold in the chemist shop. So there's a long process and lot of plenty, I would say plenty of the chemists are required. There's a huge opportunity for chemists there. Like if you see in our organization also, we have around 10,000 chemists working. All day and day night they are working, and they are getting very handsome salaries. There's a big career for them, because all the time they have to work for the making new molecules, new compounds, new candidates for the drugs. We call it drug candidates because before the drug is made, you have to make a drug candidate, and then a lot of reactions are to be done. So there's a big opportunity for the chemist there. So after 12th class, if you keep on pursuing chemistry for graduation and post-graduation, you will see there will be need of the chemist at the end of the post-graduation or at the end of the PhD if you want, that you can carry on. That is a I would advise for the people who want to choose the chemistry after 12th.
Any more questions, students?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This is Math from Academy, Navapan, Sujanpur.
Yes, beta.
I want to ask that how much time we get for each subject and how we can plan our schedule for better learning.
How much time? See, this has to be guided by the your teachers, because I'm not a school teacher or a college teacher, so I have not much knowledge here. Only thing is the proportionate time you need to devote. Like if you're after school you're doing 5 hours 6 hours studies, then as per your gap in the subject and as per your scope of the subject, you have to spend the time. So your teachers will be well guided, well guiding you, because I'm looking for now, I'm working in the industry, so I can answer on those subjects.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, beta. Yes, any other question?
Any questions, further more questions from zone 1, zone 2, zone 4, zone 5? We have all big academies out here, huge number of students. Welcome to have all pragmatic questions on this board.
Good morning, sir.
Manjeet Pal.
Good morning.
Is there any scope in chemical engineering?
Yes, very good question. So after chemistry, like in after 12th, you can also move to chemical engineering. Chemical engineering is different from chemistry. Chemical engineering use the chemist, but how to make it a technology, how to use this chemistry in a technological term, that is a chemical engineering. Like when you already invented a drug, you already have a drug, and you want to make it in a manufacturing plant, then there is a need of the chemical engineers, because then they will know which chemical will flow where, which chemical will added to which chemical at what time, and how it will be done, how it will be made to powder or liquid or solutions. All those is decided by chemical engineers. So chemical engineering has again a very bright future, because all chemical industry and all the pharmaceutical industry both are different, and both need chemical engineers. So they will only decide how a plant or how a manufacturing plant will be set up, and what kind of drug or what kind of chemicals will be made in that, how that will be put up in the containers, or how that will be transported. So all this is decided by the chemical engineers. Any machinery also, which is going to use the chemicals, how that will be designed, how that will be used, all those is decided by engineers. So again, a very bright future here for chemical engineering.
Sir, I am Amarpreet Kaur from Akal Academy, Bilga. What should be preferred firstly in organic or organic chemistry during the preparation of exams?
Okay. So organic and inorganic chemistry, I told you, both are required at the moment, because that will make the basis of your overall comprehensive understanding of the chemistry as a subject. So both are important. Even the third one, the physical chemistry, also needs at this time, because this is a base making period where you are trying to understand each of the field of the chemistry. So learn as much as possible. Yeah, career-wise, I told you organic chemistry is more important, but to know the organic chemistry, some elements, some aspects of the inorganic chemistry and physical chemistry is required, and that will be used on the way to build up your career. Okay.
Students, you can ask more than one question also. Don't think you just have to ask one. Clarify as many doubts as you have.
Yeah, we're looking for more questions from other academies. Uh, in case
Yep.
we don't have, then we can
Please
take
ask
it
if
as a
anybody
topic.
has, because one question means many other who are not asked is also question for them. So they will get the answers. So your question is, although you're asking, but I always feel that other also have the same question and they will get the answer. So for benefit of all, do ask. And this is a very good opportunity for, as your coordinator, your teachers have organized it. So make best of use of it. And we also had the doubt, we got the answers on the way. So it's good opportunity you got on the spot here the answers. So better to ask. Don't leave any doubt in your mind.
I am Charanpreet Kaur from Akal Academy, Bilga. How can we elaborate the chemical test? It asks in exams.
If I ask, how can you? I didn't get question.
Elaborate how we can elaborate chemical test if asked in exams. In theory.
How can you learn?
Elaborate.
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 Elaborate. Okay, so
Elaborate.
elaborate. So it's basically chemical test when they gave you in the practical to check the You are talking of the cation, anion, or salt analysis, right?
Sir, not in theory.
So what is the exactly question? I'm not getting the word.
Sir, how we can explain in exam in theory?
So how can you explain the chemical test in the exam? Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically, it's if you have learned any chemical test, for example, if you are trying to understand presence of aldehyde or presence of cation, sodium ion, or chloride ions, you need to learn little deeper. Then you will be able to elaborate. You will be able to explain to the teacher in viva or in the theory. You will be able to elaborate further. If you have just read or tried to learn 2-3 sentences, you will never be able to. So to elaborate, you need to know that particular test more deeper. Learn around that, not only 2 lines or 5 lines what they've given. If you do that, then you will never be able to elaborate. So you have to do more wider study around that chemical test. I hope I answered your question.
So what is scope in biochemistry?
What is
Scope in biochemistry.
scoping?
Biochemistry.
Scope in biochemistry.
Scope in biochemistry.
Scope.
Okay, so biochemistry is again a fusion subject where some aspect of the biology and the chemistry is there. Again, a very bright field because it more in the towards the biology than the chemistry. But chemistry, the principle of the chemistry, like cation will go with the anion and bond forming, and this lipophilic, hydrophilic theories of the chemistry will be used there. So biochemistry has a scope in the biotechnological industry. So there you will see not only the pharmaceutical, but the food industry, or like the enzymatic.
So is that all we have? If we don't.
Just so similar
So
to
in case we don't have questions, we can thank Dr. Sir, Dr. for his time and inputs for this session. And in case if someone wants to still chip in for some advice or some
Excuse me,
question,
sir.
we will give last more.
Excuse me, sir.
yes, please.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Yeah,
morning.
please carry on.
So my question is that, is it important to opt PhD to have a scope in research and engineering?
Very good question. Very futuristic question. So I would suggest yes. The short answer is yes. It's good to have, but it's not must to have. I have seen many people making their career after MSc. After BSc, it's very challenging. After MSc, it's easy. And after PhD, become even easier. But whether you do after MSc or PhD, the hard work, the deeper work, the knowledge, and the new technologies you have to adopt to grow further. So I've seen many people growing very well, earning fantastically. After MSc, 5 years, 7 years, they are into very good zone. And after PhD also, I've seen people struggling. They're not able to do it. They got the PhD as a stamp somewhere, and or they didn't work much. So mantra is to do better. Degrees help you to get recognized and get absorbed in the initial days of the company. But it doesn't leave you for longer until you work yourself. So MSc or PhD is the answer. And then the hard work across is the mantra.
Good morning, sir. Sir, I am Jaspreet from Akal Academy, Reedkhedi. I am a commerce student, and sir, I want to know about the scope of commerce after class 12.
Okay, I'm not sorry. I'm not in a commerce field, but I've seen commerce across my peers, across my like offsprings. It's a brilliant and fast-moving career. Science is a very different require and needs a very different things, but commerce is definitely a bright future.
Good
Very
morning,
bright.
sir.
Yes, please. Good
I'm
morning.
Tarunpreet Kaur from Akal Academy, Reedkhedi. I am a science student. I want to ask that what is scope of Ayurveda in abroad?
Ayurveda in abroad. Okay, very wide question. I have no expertise here, but Ayurveda is a more of the subject of India, and people when they talk of Ayurveda outside, they see India as a leader. Because Ayurveda is with for us for the centuries, and people adopted it. And now with the last few years, we have seen a lot of growth in Ayurveda. So people, when you go outside, especially you go outside, again there is a need there for people who believe in Indian way of treatment or Indian way of caring. So they look for the Ayurveda. So I feel so. I don't have the data with me or any expertise to commonly talk about, but generally speaking, yes, Ayurveda is the future which needs to be pushed up from India across, and people will adopt it because it's coming from nature. If you see, people are moving towards nature anywhere. If you see now, people are not going towards more city life, or they want some peace or some nature things. So in their food, in their medicines, nature comes in. They are going to like it. This is a future, but somebody has to at a country level, somebody has to push it. So Ayurveda has a bright future condition. It has to be pushed at the countries from the countryside, from government side, across the world. People will pick it up.
What can we do other than MBBS?
MBBS, yeah, MBBS and the engineering is a very bright and very popular uh, field to choose. Very futuristic people we say, yeah, it is. I'm not undermining it, but dear, there's a lot of brilliant fields other than MBBS. If you don't get MBBS, it doesn't mean you cannot have a reputation, you cannot have the future. There's a lot, plenty. Imagine the way the world is growing, the 6 billion people, the need is growing a lot on all the subjects. So why only MBBS? All of the subjects are equally important. It's simple philosophy. If you see, you take one medicine maybe in a month at this age, or 2 months or 6 months. Parents might be taking little more, but you're doing so many other activities which don't need medicine, which don't need MBBS doctor consultation. When did you visit last time? Right? So MBBS is a good field, must field. Have you? If you have it, if get it, good it. Nothing wrong about it. It's good about it. But there's plenty more world around the MBBS, and you have to pick up, grow. Again, I said the first thing which I said in the beginning. It is the expertise you build in. No matter what, if you are expert and you know more about that subject, you know deeper about the subject, you have the knowledge of the new technologies coming in the subject, you will be in demand. I have seen many MBBS are doing normal practice, but if you see other who did not do MBBS are earning much more. I'll talk to you of these specialist salaries and talk of the MBBS salaries are far apart. Other people are earning in crores. If they become expert, they earn in crores, while MBBS are earning still few lakhs rupees in a month. So it's all the expertise. You choose your subject. Now you are at such a beautiful junction. You have all the subject to choose from. Any subject you find interesting, choose. But once you choose, make sure each subject is an ocean. Ocean with the wideness, ocean with the depth, ocean with the waves, and there will be some challenges will be there to cross that. But you have to make yourself able to swim in that, to go deep dive in that, so that your ocean of chemistry, your ocean of physics, or your ocean of commerce, you become the expert. And once you become the expert, mark my word, you will be in demand. You will be in demand. I will give you the example. MSc chemistry, when they join, when they join, they get a small package, about 4 lakh rupees per annum after MSc. But if they get 1 year expertise work, they deliver well, they become in demand, and they get 30% hike.
It is difficult to learn a mechanism in a reaction.
Sorry?
Sir, it is difficult to learn a mechanism of reaction.
Yes, dear, anything looks difficult also becomes easy if you are interested. If you get deep, I know, understand. I'm not undermining your challenges. It is difficult, but it's not possible, not impossible, because people have learned it, right? They don't have the different mind. They don't have the different extra pair of hands to do the things, right? Same people have learned it. Same type of, you're not different. So mechanism may frighten you in the first instance. Okay, perfectly fine, natural. We all got frightened by mechanism. We all face that.
So what are the job opportunities in organic chemistry in India and abroad?
Okay, broadly speaking, can you count me out? Do you have the names of some pharmaceutical industry in India? No. Okay.
Please repeat.
Yes. If you pick up any medicine tablet that strip at your home, at the back of it, there will be pharmaceutical company name, who made it, right? Ask him to show you, go to chemist or go to your home and search all the medicines, go to the back leaf, see the company of his name. At least within your hand, you will find 4 or 5 company name without spending any time, without going into any market, any chemist shop. Within your hand, your cupboard, you'll see 4 or 5 company names floating there, printed there, different medicine, different companies. So when you, when I asked the question minute back, I got a 0 answer, but within no time, you will get 4 or 5 answer in your cupboard. And imagine the number of companies actually present in India. I don't have the count. There were thousands and thousands and thousands of the companies who are making medicines, thousands and thousands. Broadly speaking, at least I would say in India itself, small and bigger industry would be minimum 100,000 will be there, minimum. And across the world, there big companies are there. Again, in million company would be there around the world. What they need? They need chemist. They need biologist to check those drugs. They need MBBS doctor to check them for clinical trials. So there's a huge demand for chemists. We are moving around the India to take the chemist. So I was talking about what chemist who starts with the 4 lakh, within 1-2 years, he comes in the demand. Then other company takes him another 30% hike, 40% hike, 50% hike. And they keep on jumping, and soon they get to 10 lakh package, soon they get to 20 lakh package, and they keep on moving up and reach up to crore or cross the crore. If they are good in 10-15 years, they cross it. So it's all expertise. How good expertise? All are becoming expertise.
Can you briefly tell about some of the scholarship exams in India and abroad?
There are a lot of scholarship exams. Like if you want to do PhD, there is after MSc, you can write exam on the CSIR. There's every year there are once or twice exam is there. You have to clear that exam, then you will get the PhD with a scholarship. So you can do 5 years of the PhD or 3 to 5 years of period for the PhD. So in this period, you will get around 35,000 rupees every month as a scholarship to do PhD. So government pays you for your PhD. They don't charge you. And when you do the PhD, only thing is you have to clear the exam. Yeah. Any other question?
I'm Harnoor Kaur from Akal Academy, Balbeda. I want to go abroad. Which course I should choose related with chemistry?
I didn't get the first part of your question. You want to choose?
I want to go abroad. Which course I should choose related with chemistry?
You want to go abroad after graduation, post-graduation, or you want to do graduation in abroad?
I want to do graduation in abroad.
For country-wise, it may vary, but generally speaking, it's easier to do a post-graduation or even easier to do a PhD abroad, because graduation, they get sufficient applicants within their own country. As per the, every college has a limited seats, so they get sufficient people around within their country. That's my belief. But post-graduation, people generally go for, and PhD, definitely it's become easier to go for PhD outside. So that's a general trend. For graduation, some country might be offering outside their country, maybe India, they might be offering. You need to look through. I'm not again expert here for the foreign education.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I am Halinka from Akal Academy, Bilga. Can you explain about green chemistry?
What a question. Beautiful question. I was not expecting this question at this level. So green chemistry, as chemistry, the first thing when we talk of here, the chemistry, any normal layman or from non-education, when they talk of chemical, they talk of negative with a negative sense. Chemical means something negative. While chemical is a positive and negative both. And chemical is a need of the everyone, whether it's pharmaceutical medicines or our other requirement of the medicine chemicals like detergents or Colgate even, or any other which we use in daily way, paint, for example. So when we do make these chemicals, then there is also some waste is there, which goes in the environment and damage the environment. So any medicine, when we make a lot of solvent, a lot of side products, a lot of waste is made. So that goes in environment. So how to do the chemistry without making a side product? How to do a chemistry without doing the much of the solvent? Or how to not use the toxic chemicals? So when you do this, we say, yes, you're trying to do a green chemistry. And second, there are multiple ways of doing the green chemistry. Like if I take a compound A and make a compound B, I can take a 1 kg of compound A, I can get a 1 kg of compound B. But in case if I get half kg, that means half kg is going waste. I'm getting B, half kg, but half kg is going waste. So I have to find a method where 1 kg give me 1 kg, 1 mole give me 1 mole. Then I'm doing green chemistry. So I'm not wasting anything. So if you're not wasting, that means you're using your resources properly. So anything which saves, any chemistry which saves the environment, which preserves the environment, which doesn't damage the environment, is called green chemistry. And green chemistry also has a future, because any chemist, what we ever see around,
Sir, which university is the best for chemistry courses?
Sorry?
Sir, which university is best for chemistry courses in India?
So I would say that rather than chemistry, it's a university, it's a student. Which student is the best student in the chemistry? So if you are the best, university doesn't matter. If you are good student and study well and read your subjects properly, deeply, ask as much as you from teachers, and you will get it. I have seen in my life many chemists coming from a very good prestigious colleges, but they themselves were not good. They were not good students. They studied, they scored 60%, 70% good, but they never were liking the subject, or they were not going deep in the subject. Versus, I've also seen coming from some remote colleges, I myself visited to recruit the people there, and there they don't having any facility, but they could get they were liking the subject, so they understood well and they grown well. So yes, university matters, but choose any reasonable good university. Don't go to any worse bad university which doesn't have teacher, doesn't have the equipment. So any reasonable university to any top university should be good for any good student. Don't go for the label.
Good morning, sir. So what is the scope of pharmacy in abroad?
Pharmacy again is a field when you, after the graduation or during the graduation also, what are the different medicines available for which disease, to know about that, and then to help to chemists also to make the better drugs. So abroad also have a good scope. Again, I said I am not expert for the abroad education, but pharmacy is one of the good field there. And in most of the countries, especially Europe, there is this kind of, there are less people studying in any technical field because their population is very less, and very less a young population would also very less. So these kind of expert are always in demand. So pharmacy is one of the subject where you may get the better opportunity. Okay, any other question?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Vata.
Sir, shall we choose the petrochemical engineering as the world is moving toward non-conventional sources of energy?
Definitely, you can choose. This is a good subject.
About future. Actually, the students are worried about the future because the world is moving away from the conventional sources of energy, petrol and diesel. We are avoiding. So, is there any bright future for this one, or should we obtain any other option?
Yeah, it is a good future, but I see there's always a need to replace the conventional sources, and these people will be there. Number may vary because what you use in the long future. So somebody has to start work now. If everybody work for the present one, then who will work for the very futuristic goals? So natural like petrol and diesel or other petrochemicals are not going to be with us forever. So somebody has to start work. So the people are moving to this field, and this field is being developed. So good to move in if you have interest. But if you want immediately cash, immediately like a movement in the career, then I would suggest where the things are going, are in demand at the moment. Okay. Any other question?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Opportunities in forensic science after +2.
I'm not. You're not audible. Better.
What are the opportunities in forensic science after +2?
Opportunities in quant. I'm not getting subject.
Forensic science, sir.
Forensic sciences. Yes, forensic sciences is also again a good field. Forensic sciences deals with the basically your the DNA traces when we see any surface or any or aging, if you want to see any fossil, and all those related to this, and it has a future for investigative agencies or for the crime branches and for the related fields. So there is and there's this kind of areas like what we're talking about, petrochemicals and forensic, is are very niche areas and very much required. Numbers may vary. So one where there is a more demand, more crowd will be there, and then there will be some field where the crowd is not less, so you can get more chance. So when crowd is not there, you get your own self yourself as more expert, right? So these areas, if you interest you, if it helps you, you can always choose. There will be less crowd there, so you can do better. Non-medical student.
Forensic studies, sir.
I cannot comment on this. I'm not very sure. My belief is may not, because you have to have some science background.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, beta.
Sir, what is scope in drug development?
Drug development.
Yes,
you
sir.
ask drug. Okay, very high-end question. Again, not expected from this your level. So it's very high of you that you are asking this question. So drug development comes up after drug discovery is done. So all those known drugs which people are using, if anybody else want to make it, they need to develop it. Or any new drug after it is done, this is good drug, somebody has to make it. So that phase is called drug development phase. So drug development again very much in demand, because a company when make a new drug, they take a patent, and patent is live for 20 years. But after 20 years, anybody can make that drug. So at that time, new formulation, new drugs, old drugs, but new formulations or new synthesis has to be done. So every year in the world, around 40 to 50 new drugs are invented, not more than that. But there are more drugs which are already known in thousands. So those has to be keep on developing. Better way, cheaper way, easier way, green chemistry way, keep on developing that. So that's why there are chemists in demand for the new drugs, which are 40 to 50 in a year. Then there are chemists in demand for the thousands of drugs which are already working around the world. So you can understand there's a bigger requirement there. So drug development, again, you have to go through the chemistry first, understand the chemistry, then you will be able to do the drug development as well. So very bright future in a nutshell.
Thank you.
I'm seeing some question on the chat box. What is the full form of CO4? Is it CO4 or C04? I don't have any idea about this. Somebody wrote. And second question I'm seeing on the chat is, what is the scope of chemistry in Punjab after graduation? The scope doesn't change with the state. So scope remains same. There are pharmaceutical company in the Punjab as well. So they will be always looking for the MSc in chemistries or PhD in chemistries. Irrespective of the state, it will remain same. After graduation, again, after graduation, there are less scope, but after post-graduation and after PhD, there's a scope. Okay. Any other question from anyone? No question?
Let us call it a day, and let us thank Dr. Naresh ji on his valuable time and good inputs given to us, to our students, for their respective career options which they would be opting once they graduate from high school. And I will also like to extend my heartiest thanks to Dr. Naresh ji for his time which he spared for the students of Akal Academies, and will definitely keep on following him for more suggestion as and when time and chance permits us. So thank you, Dr. Sir, for your time and consideration for our students. So in case we don't have any questions, so we can wind up this session for now, as for now.
Thank you. Thank you for your time
So
and
Jaspreet
efforts.
ma'am,
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
do we have any more questions?
No, I don't think so, anybody, but wonderful session, I can say, JPG, because the students really asked very brilliant questions.
Yes, it was very high level questions were there.
Yeah,
So I'm
especially the
happy.
developed chemistry was
Yeah,
a
many
real
questions.
question.
Yeah.
I know.
Very good green chemistry, development questions. All those
Yeah.
are really very high end questions. Very good
Very
questions.
good, very good. We are very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thanks for your time. I hope I
Thank you
could
so
be
much,
helpful.
Dr. Naresh. Thank you so much for the wonderful session. It was really
Thank you.
interesting.
Thank you. Bye.